What up, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Friendster, Princess, SoundCloud, SoundClick. Listen, let's stay focused, people. I'm about to talk about the gun violence, and I'm not talking about this to get views, because you guys know that, when you talk about stuff like this, YouTube puts they don't allow you to make money off of it. So that's not why I'm talking about it. I'm talking about it because it's a very real thing. This Las Vegas thing where Mr. Paddocks, a 64-year-old white guy, pretty much has, two guns set up at two different windows in a hotel and fires down and kills 50 people and injures 200 others now. There's several videos coming out on the incident, and they say when SWAT finally caught up to him and breached his room, he had a self-inflicted gunshot wound, and pretty much he killed himself. Listen, there's some people saying that this is false, and I am not saying that it's false. I already know that some of my subscribers are going to hit me with the fake news and the propaganda and the amendment and all this other stuff that I'm just going to tell you right now, I'm not going to read it. I'm not going to read through all of it. And I'm going to tell you why. It's not that I want to believe that people actually lost their lives. It's that I'm not sure if they did or didn't. And the last thing I want to hear is somebody saying that it's all false, that these people lost their lives. It's all false. It's not true. None of these people lost their lives without any proof. So the way the news is reporting, I don't believe everything the news says. All I'm saying is it's highly possible that it's true. And I don't know if it is or not. But for right now, I'm going with it is. And I'm mourning the loss of the innocent. If you don't have evidence other than your skepticism, other than your all-out banter and just throwing things willy-nilly that happened years ago, and if you can't bring some evidence to the table on this case, then I will probably erase your comments, because I don't want to hear it. Like, I'm tired of hearing about how this and that's fake when you have I'm gonna erase it. Like, I'm telling you I am. Bring some evidence to the table. This is a channel of skeptics, fine, on certain topics, but I like evidence. I want to read through the evidence. Present some evidence, some links, so we can get to the bottom of it. But don't just go all out on me, and I'm not interested in that. So I want to know if it is true or not. Did this man really do this? For some of you are really good at investigating situations like this. And I'm saying to my subscribers and those of you who are going to see this video, go for it. Because I really want to read that. I want to read your investigative report. Like, we investigated the girl in the hanging. We got very far into it, but we didn't get an answer. But yet we investigated it. We investigated the other girl in Chicago. And there were a lot of people all over, the country looking into that. That's what I want. I don't want to hear about how it's fake. I want to see some evidence so we can get into it. And the reason why I want this is, for one, I just don't want a bunch of nonsense on my channel that when people possibly could have died. It's just hurtful to me. Two, if there's anyone who has passed or anyone who is being set up, like, was this man set up? You people are saying the government this, the government that. Well, okay, fine. If that's where you're going, then show us. Let's get into that. Let's go there. You know what I mean? It took a while before the mass shooting the people at the nightclub, and then all of a sudden you had a bunch of investigative reporters, and once they start getting into it, it was pretty clear that somebody was lying. That's what I'm after. Somebody lied, but nonetheless, those people really did pass away. So I don't want nobody on my channel to start downplaying the fact that some innocent people lost their lives regardless of who did it. I am not for that whatsoever. Okay? So I'm just letting you know now. Help us figure it out. Don't just be somebody out there just throwing stuff. Because look, I wouldn't even care if you unsubscribed. Because I don't want to hear it. Not when we're talking about a life. Sports, fine. Throw it. I don't care. But when we're talking about people who died, and we know people who've died, we know some of these incidents that the government's in on it, whatever, people are dying. And we need to get to the bottom of that, okay? Because we need to find out how to protect ourselves. And this is protect ourselves on the internet, protect ourselves spiritually, physically. That's what I'm after. We have children, we have family members who go to these events. This was a country music event. Okay, fine. You might not have anybody who lives in that area and goes and listens to country music, but some of my subscribers actually live out in Vegas. All right, I'm not going to mention your names, but I know some of you live probably not too far from where this happened. So that's all I'm saying, you guys. I like when we investigate. Let's investigate. Let's look into it. Let's not start acting like there was no one hurt when we're not sure. Don't do that, because there are families involved, and Americans involved. Your amendment, your right to carry a weapon and protect yourself. That's all involved here. Now, some people are saying that's why this could be a hoax. Fine. Let's just bring it all to the forefront before we start saying what is and what isn't. And that type of information I do welcome. I'm going to listen to a couple videos to just bring some evidence. And let's listen
to the shooter, the suspected shooter in this 64-year-old Stephen Craig Paddock. One source within the Las Vegas Police Department apparently saying that Paddock had set up 2 shooting platforms and was shooting out of 2 windows inside his rooms at the Mandalay Bay. Across the street, he had up to 10 weapons in the room, including what we're now being told 200 magazines filled with ammunition. He was found dead inside the scene. We're being told that when SWAT teams breached his room and went inside, that he was found dead from a self-inflicted gunshot wound. 22,000, just take a look at this picture, a live picture right now, 22,000 people.
All right, now let's talk about that, the self-inflicted gunshot wound. Highly possible it happened. Here's another possibility. When we looked at the last mass shooting, which was 49 people, this happened to be 50 people, 200 injured. When we looked at that mass shooting and we start looking at the timelines and the evidence of when people say that other people were being shot, the investigative reporters came in and said they think that SWAT did this. And let's just be real. This ain't the first time SWAT done shot up some people and walked away like they didn't do anything, and they were innocent people. They did absolutely nothing, had nothing to do with the issue, and they shot these people up and wouldn't release any names on who did the shooting. Now, as far as the incident in Florida, people did die, okay? But who really killed those people? Now, I believe a lot of that was war propaganda. Immediately it was ISIS, and immediately this, that, and the third. And they're even trying some ISIS stuff with this, saying that the Strip is a target for an ISIS video that was back in 2016. So they're still trying to link ISIS with this. So you get where I'm going, people. I'm not saying that this man didn't get up here and do this. I'm saying there's a lot more to it than always what meets the eye, especially when SWAT and the government are concerned. I don't trust any of them when they say there was a gunshot wound and the man's dead, and we don't see no evidence of what they say. We know that there's been plenty of times they said something, and once the reports came out, it was a complete lie. This is the information that I want. Okay? Let's listen to some more.
Taking part in this festival when that gunfire went off at about 10 o'clock last night. Let's bring in Jada Montemorano standing by in the live center with more on the shooter.
And breaking news right now, Mike, we just got this photo tweeted by ABC News. Good morning, America. This is the first photo of this suspected shooter. As you see here, it's not that clear of a photo. His eyes are shut. We don't know where this was taken, but this is the first photo released of this shooter. And as Mike was saying, he did shoot himself in that hotel room before they found him. And again, at this time, FBI is at his home. They're on this case right now to find out a motive for this and find out how long this has been planned. We know he was in that room since September 28th. We don't know how long this has been in the works. And again, we will keep tracking this for the rest of the morning. Back to you guys.
He had so much ammunition. Like, this guy was loaded to the teeth. Now, I also want to say that we've seen videos where this one guy on To Catch a Predator video, he was going to see some chick, and when the cops caught up to him, his whole truck was full of weapons. The whole thing. He drove like 5 hours to go see this chick. I don't know where he was going to. But, you know, you quickly noticed how this man had all of these weapons, and they were all registered to him. He had a boatload of weapons. Like, it was ridiculous. There's a whole flatbed of his truck, all weapons, all high-powered guns, handguns, all ammunition, the whole nine. So it's not like people aren't running around with this type of arsenal. Just one man. It's not like this is not happening, because it's very real. And that's what they're saying that this guy had. He had a whole arsenal, and it was just ridiculous. I'm going to listen to another news clip just to see what they're saying.
This is CNN Breaking News.
We are following breaking news for you. The deadliest mass shooting in U.S. history has happened. It happened last night at an outdoor country music festival on the Las Vegas Strip. At least 50 people were killed there. More than 200 people are injured, many of them in critical condition. Police say the gunman has been identified as a 64-year-old with no prior history as far as they can tell. The local police say that they never had any run-ins with him. He is dead at this hour. Police say that he opened fire from the 32nd floor of the Mandalay Bay Hotel that was looking out on this open-air...
The 32nd floor. 32nd floor. You're 32 stories high. Good grief, what kind of weapon did you have? And when you hear the firing, it just sounds like popcorn. It's a brrr, grrr. So he had a high-powered automatic weapon. You notice they don't say it was a 64-year-old white man, because they usually identify what race you are. Or if it's a Muslim, they say 64-year-old so-and-so. Then they'll say his name. Then they'll say what religion he's from. Anyway, these videos are all on World Star Hip Hop. And, you know, pray for the people's families, man. Like, let's have some sympathy, you know what I'm saying? Like, these people need help, man, you know what I'm saying? Because I don't care how rich you are, man, a loss of life is a loss of life. It's your boy Tone 202, man. I keep telling you, man, get saved, because you never know. You never, ever, ever know. Get saved, you know, find yourself a good spiritual group to be with, and love the Lord Jesus Christ.